Nifemi was a kind of woman who turned heads wherever she went. Her dark skin glistened under the sun. Her eyes held the depth that drew people in, and her smile could light up a room. But Bennett, her stunning exterior, was a woman with a heart of gold, kind, compassionate, and always ready to help others, despite all her beauty and goodness. Love had not been kind to her. Nifemi's relationship had always been a series of heartbreaks. She seems to attract men who were interested in her for all the wrong reasons. It was as though the moment they saw her, they did not care about getting to know her or understand her dreams and desires. All they wanted was to take something from her, something that should have been sacred. Her friend often told her to be more selective, to stop giving men a chance so easily. But Nifemi could not help it. She believed in love and wanted to find someone who would love her for who she was, not just for her body. Then came Tade. Tade was charming, funny, and seemed to genuinely care about Nifemi. They met at a mutual friend's birthday party, and from the moment they started talking, Nifemi felt a connection she had not felt in years. It was different from others, or so she thought. After a few weeks of talking over the phone and texting, Tade asked Nifemi out on their first date. Excitement filled her heart, and she hoped that this time things would be different. She spent hours picking out the perfect outfit, something that was both elegant and comfortable. She wanted to make a good impression, not just because of how she looked, but because of who she was. The date started perfectly. Tade took her to a cozy restaurant in the heart of Lagos, where the music was soft and the lights were dim. They talked about everything: works, dreams, and life in general. Nifemi felt at ease with him, and for the first time in a long while, she let her guard down. But as the night progressed, Nifemi noticed a shift in Tade's demeanor. His eyes lingered on her longer than necessary, and his compliments became more suggestive. She brushed it off, thinking it was just normal flirtation. But then, after dinner, he suggested they go back to his place. Nifemi's heart sank. She had heard this before. It was always the same pattern, and then demand something in return on the first date. She had hoped Tade would be different, but here he was, just like all the others. She hesitated, unsure of how to respond. Part of her wanted to believe that maybe this time it would be okay, that maybe Tade really cared about her, but deep down, she knew she could not go through with it. She had been hurt too many times before. "I am not comfortable with that, Tade," she said softly, trying not to sound accusatory. "I thought we were just going to enjoy our time together tonight." Tade smiled for a moment before he quickly recovered. "Of course, Nifemi," he said, but there was a hint of disappointment in his voice. "I just thought we were having such a good time, but if you are not ready, I understand." Nifemi nodded, grateful that he seemed to respect her boundaries. They finished the evening on a lighter note, but as Tade dropped her off at home, she could not shake off the feelings that something was off. Days passed and Tade's calls and texts became less frequent. Nifemi tried not to think too much of it, convincing herself that he was just busy with work. But deep down, she knew the truth. He was pulling away because she had not given him what he wanted. One evening, Nifemi decided to confront Tade about the sudden distance. She dialed his number, her heart pounding in her chest. When he answered, she tried to keep her voice steady. Tade, is everything okay? I feel like we have not really talked much since our date. There was a pause on the other end before Tade spoke. Yeah, everything is fine, Nifemi. I have just been busy. Look, you are a great girl, but I think we want different things. I am not sure this is going to work out. Nifemi felt the familiar sting of rejection. She had heard this excuse before. It was always the same. They wanted something from her, and when she did not give it, they left. Okay, Tade, she said quietly, trying to hold back the tears. I understand. As she hung up the phone, Nifemi could not help but felt a wave of sadness was over her. Why did this keep happening to her? Why did men only see her as someone to use and discard? She sat on her bed, staring at the wall, lost in her thoughts. She had hoped that Tade would be different, but now she was back to square one, alone with a broken heart once again. But this time, Nifemi made a promise to herself. She would no longer let men take advantage of her kindness and good hearts. She would protect herself, even if it meant being alone for a while. She deserved better, and she would not settle for anything less. Yet, as much as she tried to move on, a part of her still longed for love. Would she ever find someone who truly cared about her? Or was she destined to keep repeating the same painful cycle over and over again? Nifemi resolved to protect herself was firm, but loneliness had a way of creeping in during the quiet moments. Days turned into weeks, and though she tried to focus on herself, the longing for genuine relationship gnawed at her. She missed the idea of being loved, even if she had not really experienced it yet. Her best friend Shade was her pillar during this time. Shade was bold, fearless, and always quick to give advice, whether Nifemi wanted it or not. They had been friends since their university days, and if there was anyone who could lift Nifemi's spirits, it was Shade. One Friday evening, as they sat in Nifemi's living room, munching on suya and sipping wine, Shade broke the silence. Babe, you need to go back out there, she said, her voice filled with concern. I know Tade mess with your head, but not every guy is like him. You cannot make one experience make you give up on love. Nifemi sighed and put her glass down. It is not just Tade, it's all of them. They are all the same. I am tired of giving myself to people who do not care about me. Shade scoffed. Not all men are the same. You just need to look in the right place. And besides, if you keep waiting for Mr. Perfect, you will end up alone and bitter. Nifemi frowned, but she knew Shade had a point. I just do not know if I am ready to start dating again. The whole process feels exhausting. I am not sure I can go through another heartbreak. I got it, but you deserve happiness, and you are not going to find it by hiding away. Look, let's just start small. Go on a few dates, meet new people. You do not have to commit to anything, just have fun. Who knows? You might meet someone who surprise you. Nifemi considered her friend's words. Maybe Shade was right. Maybe it was time to step out of her comfort zone again. Even if it was just casual dates, she had been alone for too long, and part of her was tired of it. Okay, she finally said, a hint of smile forming on her lips. I will give it a shot, but no expectations, just fun. Shade grind widely. That is the spirit. I will set you up with a few guys I know. You will be back in the game before you know it. A few days later, Nifemi found herself preparing for another date. This time, it was with a guy named Dakpo. Shade had assured her that he was different, respectful, ambitious, and not the type to pressure a woman into anything. Nifemi nerves were still there, but she felt more confident now. She had set boundaries for herself, and she was not going to let anyone cross them. They met at a popular lawn in Ikeja, and Nifemi was pleasantly surprised by Dapo the Minor. He was easy to talk to, with a laid-back charm that put her at ease. They laughed, shared stories, and for the first time in a long while, Nifemi felt like she could enjoy someone's company without worrying about what will come next. As the evening progressed, Dapo suggested they take a walk. The cool Lagos breeze felt refreshing as they strolled along the streets, talking about their dreams and aspirations. Nifemi felt herself relaxing, allowing the moment to just be what it was. Two people enjoy each other's company, but then, just as they were nearing to his car, Dapo turned to her, his expression suddenly serious. Nifemi, I have really enjoyed tonight. You are an amazing woman, and I would like to know you better. Nifemi smiled. I have enjoyed it too. Dapo smiled slightly as he added, how about we continue this back at my place? I live just around the corner. Nifemi heart sank. Here it was again, the same pattern. She had hoped Dapo would be different. That maybe this time things would go at a normal pace. But it seemed that no matter how much she tried, she always ended up in the same situation. She took a deep breath, steadying herself. Dapo, I like you too, but I am not ready for that yet. I would like to take things slow, if that is okay with you. Dapo's expression shifted, and for a moment, she saw a flicker of disappointment in his eyes. But then he smiled, though it did not quite reach his eyes. Of course, Nifemi, I respect that. Nifemi forced a smile in return, but the moment had been tinted. The rest of the night was awkward, and as Dapo dropped her off at home, she knew she would not be hearing from him again. Once inside her apartment, Nifemi sank onto her couch. Her heart heavy. She had tried, but it seemed that no matter what she did, she could not escape the same old cycle. Was she cursed to always attract men who only saw her as a conquest? As she lay there, staring at the ceiling, a thought crossed her mind. Maybe she was going about this all wrong. Maybe she needed to focus on herself. Truly focus without the distraction of dating. Maybe love will come to her when she was not looking for it. But as much as she wanted to believe that, she could not shake the loneliness that clung to her. Would she ever find someone who truly loved her for who she was, not just for what she could give them? The question lingered in her mind as she drifted off to sleep. The night outside, as quiet as the uncertainty inside her heart. Nifemi woke up next morning with the weight of last night still heavy on her heart. She sighed deeply as she sat up in her bed, replaying the evening with Dapo in her mind. It had started so well, with the hope fluttering in her chest, only to end in disappointment once again. She rubbed her eyes and forced herself out of the bed. She could not dwell on it. Life had to go on. The sun was shining brightly as she stepped out of her apartment. The neighborhood was bustling with activities, and for a moment she allowed herself to be distracted by the normalcy of it all. The sound of the children playing, the distant hum of car engines, and the chatters of neighbors made her feel grounded. She headed to a nearby cafe where she often spent her Saturday mornings. It was a quiet spot, tucked away from the busy streets, and she loved the peaceful ambience it offered. With a warm cup of coffee in her hand, she settled into her favorite corner and opened a jotter, a place where she could pour out her thoughts without judgment. She wrote about the cycle she seems trapped in, the frustration of always being taken for granted, and the yearning for something real. Her pen moved across the page, effortlessly, as if it had a mind of its own. By the time she finished, she felt a bit lighter, as though she had released some of the burden she had been carrying. Just as she was about to close her jotter, her phone buzzed with a message. She glanced at the screen and saw it was from Shade. "Hi babe, how was the date with Dakbo? I have been dying to hear the details. Let's meet for lunch and you can tell me everything. I know a new spot we can check out. See you soon." Nifemi smiled at her friend's enthusiasm. She hesitated for a moment, not really in the mood to relive the previous night, but she knew she could not avoid Shade. Besides, a change of environment might do her some good. She replied with a quick, "Sure, see you soon," and gathered her things, mentally preparing herself for another conversation about her love life. The new restaurant Shade had chosen was a trending spot in Victoria Island, filled with the Lagos elites. The decor was chic, with vibrant colors and modern acts adorning the walls. Nifemi took in the atmosphere as she entered, feeling a bit out of place but determined to enjoy herself. Shade was already there, seated at a table by the window, waving enthusiastically. When she spotted Nifemi, "Babe, over here," she called out. Nifemi walked over with a smile, greeting her friend with a hug before taking a seat. So Shade began, barely able to contain her excitement. "Tell me everything. How did it go with Dakbo? Was he as amazing as I said?" Nifemi took a deep breath, choosing her words carefully. "It was nice. The date started out of great. We have a good time, and he is definitely charming." Shade's eyes light up. "I knew it. See, I told you, he was different." Nifemi hesitated, not wanting to dampen Shade's spirits, but she knew she could not sugarcoat the truth. But then, towards the end of the night, he suggested we go back to his place. Shade's smile faltered, and she frowned. "Oh, did you?" "No, I did not." Nifemi cut in quickly. "I told him I was not ready for that, and he said he understood. But I could tell he was disappointed. The vibe changed after that. It was awkward." Shade sighed, leaning back in her chair. "I am sorry, babe. I really thought it was one of the good ones." "It's okay," Nifemi said, trying to sound more positive than she felt. "It just made me realize that maybe I need to take a break from dating for a while. Focus on myself, you know." Shade looked at her friend with sympathy, reaching out to squeeze her hand. "I get you, but do not give up on love completely. Okay, you deserve to find someone who will cherish you." Nifemi smiled softly. "I know, I am not giving up." I am just taking a pause. As they ate their lunch, the conversation shifted to lighter topics: work, family, and their mutual love for travel. For a while, Nifemi was able to forget about her dating troubles and simply enjoy the moment. But just as they were finishing their meal, Nifemi's phone buzzed again. This time, it was a message from an unknown number. "Hi Nifemi, it's Kola. We met briefly at Bimbo's birthday party last month. I have been thinking about you and wondering if you would like to grab a drink sometime. No pressure, just thought it would be nice to catch up." Nifemi stared at the message, her mind racing. She vaguely remembered Kola from the party, a tall, handsome guy with a quiet confidence about him. They had exchanged pleasantries, but she had not thought much of it at the time. She had then noticed the look on Nifemi's face and leaned over to peek at the message. "Who is that?" she asked curiously. "It's Kola from Bimbo's birthday party," Nifemi replied, still staring at the screen. Shade's eyes widened. "Kola, as in Bimbo's cousin. Girl, you better reply. He is a good one, trust me." Nifemi hesitated. She had just told herself she was going to take a break from dating, but something about Kola's message felt different. It was casual, no pressure, just an invitation to hang out. After a moment of contemplation, she typed a reply. "Hi Kola, sure, let me know when and where." Shade grinned widely. "That is my girl. Who knows? This could be the start of something great." Nifemi smiled, but in the back of her mind, she could not shake the feeling that she was about to step into the same old pattern. She wanted to believe that this time would be different, but only time would tell. As she and Shade left the restaurant, Nifemi could not help but wonder if Kola really was different, or if she was about to find herself in yet another complicated situation. Nifemi spent the rest of the day thinking about Kola's message. There was something intriguing about him, a certain air of mystery that piqued her interest. She was not sure if it was his calm demeanor or the fact he had not come on too strong. It felt like a refreshing change from the usual forwardness she encountered with men. The following day, Kola messaged her again, this time suggesting a cozy bar in Lekki for their meet-up. Nifemi agreed, and they set a time for the weekend. As the day approached, she found herself feeling a mix of excitement and apprehension. She wanted to believe this could be different, but the lingering doubts from her previous experience made her cautious. Saturday evening arrived, and Nifemi took extra care in getting ready. She chose a simple yet elegant dress, something that made her feel confident without being too over the top. As she looked at herself in the mirror, she gave herself a little pep talk. "Relax, Nifemi. Just enjoy the evening. No expectations." Kola arrived at the bar a few minutes before her and was waiting by the entrance when she arrived. His smile was warm and inviting, and he looked genuinely pleased to see her. "Nifemi, it's great to see you again," he said as he greeted her with a light hug. "You too, Kola," she replied, feeling a little more at ease. The bar was just as he has described, intimate with dim lighting and a relaxed atmosphere. They found a quiet corner and ordered drinks, easing into the conversation. Kola was a good listener, asking her about her interests and work, genuinely engaging in what she had to say. Nifemi found herself opening up more than she had expected, sharing bits of her life and even her frustrations with dating. Kola listened intensively, nodding occasionally. I can understand why you would be frustrated, he said thoughtfully. It's tough when people do not see beyond the surface. Nifemi smiled, appreciating his understanding. It's just hard sometimes. It feels like everyone had the same expectations, and when you do not meet them, they lose interest. Kola took a sip of his drink, his gaze steady. It's their loss if they cannot appreciate the real you. You should not have to change who you are for anyone. Nifemi's heart warmed at his words. It was rare to hear a man say something like that, and she could not help but wonder if maybe, just maybe, Kola was different. As the night went on, the conversation flowed effortlessly. They talked about their favorite books, travel experiences, and even touched on their families. Nifemi was surprised by how much she was enjoying herself. Kola was charming without being overbearing, and his sense of humor had her laughing more than she had in a while. When it was time to leave, Kola walked her to her car. The night air cold against their skin. Nifemi felt a slight flutter in her chest as she stood by her car. The evening events replaying in her mind. I had a great time tonight, Nifemi, Kola said, his voice sincere. I would love to do this again sometime, if you are up for it. Nifemi smiled, feeling a little shy. I would like that too, Kola. He hesitated for a moment, then added, I know you have been through a lot with guys not treating you right. I want you to know that I am not like that. I respect you, and I am not in a rush for anything. Let's just take things one step at a time. Nifemi's heart skipped a bit at his words. Could he really be the kind of man she had been hoping to meet? She nodded, her smile widening. Okay, Kola, one step at a time. With that, they said their goodbye, and Nifemi drove home with a lightness in her heart she had not felt in a long time. As she lay in bed that night, she could not stop thinking about Kola. There was something about him that made her want to believe that maybe, just maybe, this time will be different. But even as she allowed herself to feel hopeful, a small voice in the back of her mind warned her not to get too carried away. After all, she had been here before, and she knew how easily things could change. The next morning, Nifemi woke up to a message from Kola. He wished her a good day and mentioned how much he had enjoyed their time together. It was a simple gesture, but it made her smile. She replied with a cheerful thank you. I had a great time too, and set about her day. Over the next few weeks, Kola and Nifemi continued to text and occasionally meet up. Each time they were together, Nifemi felt more drawn to him. He was consistent, kind, and patient. Everything she had been looking for in a partner. They had not yet defined their relationship, but Nifemi was okay with that. For once, she was content to let things unfold naturally. One evening, after a particular long day at work, Kola called her. Hi Nifemi, how was your day? Tiring, she admitted, sinking into her couch. I could use a drink and some company. How about I coming over with a bottle of wine? We can just relax and talk, Kola suggested. Nifemi hesitated for a moment. She had never invited him to her place before, but something in her voice reassuring her. Sure, that sounds nice, she agreed. Half an hour later, Kola was at her door with a bottle of red wine. and a warm smile. They spent the evening talking and laughing, the conversation flowing as easily as ever. Nifemi felt completely at ease, more so than she had in a long time. As the night wore on, Kola moved closer, his gaze softened. Nifemi, I really like spending time with you, he said, his voice low. I have never felt this comfortable with anyone before. Nifemi heart raced at his words. She felt the same way, but there was still a part of her that was scared to fully open up. I like spending time with you too, Kola, she replied softly. He leaned in slightly, his eyes searching us for any sign of hesitation. When he found none, he gently cupped her face and kissed her. It was a tender, lingering kiss that sent shiver down Nifemi's spine. As they pulled away, Kola looked into her eyes, his expression serious. I am not like others, Nifemi. I want to be here for you, and I am willing to wait as long as it takes. Nifemi felt a rush of emotion at his words. She wanted to believe him, to trust that he was different, but the scars from her past were still fresh. She nodded, her voice barely above a whisper. Okay, Kola, thank you. The night ended on a hopeful note with Kola, leaving after a final goodnight kiss. As Nifemi lay in bed, she could not help but feel a glimmer of hope that maybe, just maybe, this time would be different. But deep down, she knew that only time would tell if Kola was truly the one she had been waiting for, or if she was once again setting herself up for heartbreak. Nifemi woke up the next morning with a mix of emotions. Kola's words echoed in her mind, soothing her fears but also igniting her doubts. She spent the day reflecting on their growing relationship, wondering if this was the fresh start she deserved or just another mirage. She wanted to trust him, wanted to believe that things would be different this time. But the shadows of her past relationship loomed large. Few days later, Kola invited her out again, this time to a dinner at one of his favorite restaurants. Nifemi agreed, her heart racing with a blend of excitement and nervousness. She dressed up, hoping to make a good impression, while also keeping her guards up. The evening began smoothly, filled with light conversation and delicious food. Kola was, as always, attentive and thoughtful, but halfway through dinner, his demeanor softly shifted. Nifemi noticed his glance growing more intense, his smile a bit more suggestive. A sinking feeling started to form in the pit of her stomach. After dinner, Kola offered to drive her home. She agreed, trying to push aside the unease creeping into her mind. As they pulled up to her apartment building, Kola turned off the engine but did not immediately unlock the car door. I had a great time tonight, Nifemi, he said, his voice lower than usual. He leaned closer to her, and Nifemi could feel the tension in the air. She smiled nervously. Me too, Kola. Thanks for dinner. But instead of leaving it at that, Kola reached for her hand, his grip firm. Nifemi, why do not I come upstairs with you? We can have a nightcap. And just relax. Her heart sank. She had been here before. This was the moment when the facade of patience and understanding crumbled. She gently pulled her hand away, trying to keep her voice steady. Kola, I am really tired tonight. I think it's best if we call it a night. His smile faltered for a moment. Then he forced it back on. Come on, Nifemi. I have been patient. We have been seeing each other for a while now. Do not you think it's time we took things to the next level? Nifemi's heart tightened in her chest. She had really wanted Kola to be different, but here he was, pushing her to something she was not ready to give. She felt the familiar sting of disappointment. Kola, I thought you understood. I need more time, she said quietly. His expression hardened, and he let out a small frustration laugh. Time? How much more time? Nifemi, I have been respectful, but at some point, this has to go somewhere. Nifemi's hand trembled slightly as she reached for the door handle. Kola, I think it's better we stop here. I am sorry if this is not what you want. Kola stared at her for a long moment before shaking his head in frustration. I thought you were different too, Nifemi. I thought you were ready for something real, but I guess I was wrong. With that, he unlocked the car door and Nifemi stepped out, her heart heavy. She watched as Kola sped off into the night, leaving her standing alone. Tears welled up in her eyes, but she held them back. She had been here before, too many times. Nifemi walked up to her apartment, her steps slow and deliberate. She entered her empty home. The reality of the situation hit her once again. She had been taken for granted. Her worth reduced to how quickly she could meet someone else's expectations. But this time, she was not going to let it break her. She had some thoughts. She had seen through the facade before it was too late. Kola had seemed different, but in the end, he was just another man who wanted something she was not ready to give. As Nifemi sat on her couch, she realized that maybe the problem was not just the men she had been dating. Maybe the problem was that she had been trying too hard to find validation from others. She had been so focused on being the perfect girlfriend, on meeting their expectations, that she had forgotten to value herself. For too long, she had let her self-worth be determined by how others treated her. But now she knew better. She did not need a man to validate her existence. She did not need to rush into something just to keep someone's interest. And so Nifemi decided to take a break from dating. She needed time to rediscover herself, to focus on her own happiness rather than someone else's approval. The right person will come along when the time was right. Someone who will respect her boundaries and value her for who she truly was, not just what she could offer. Moral lesson: know your worth and never compromise your values for anyone. True love and respect are earned through patience, understanding, and mutual trust. Never let anyone pressure you into something you are not ready for. The right person will accept you as you are and respect your boundaries. Thanks guys for watching this video. Do not forget to subscribe to this channel to support us. Like, share, and drop your comment below. And to all our returning subscribers, we want to use this opportunity to say a very big thanks to you all. We really appreciate all your contributions and efforts. Thank you guys. We love you all.